Hey, welcome back to Josh's Smart Home. Today, I'm going to be talking about some more Govee lights. I already put 150 feet on the front of our house, but my wife really liked them. She liked them so much, she wanted more of them. So I'm going to go ahead and put these around the sides and the back of the house, everywhere that we actually are. So we're going to probably have one side that doesn't have full coverage, but nobody really goes on that side of the house anyway, so not a big deal there. So we did buy two of the 100-foot variety boxes of the original lights, not the pro lights, because we wanted to match the front of the house, and we're actually pretty happy with those, so no issue with those and no reason for us to upgrade to the pro. So I'm going to get these unboxed. I'm going to show you what's inside, do the install, give you some tips there, and give you a review at the end. So make sure you stay tuned. All right, I'm just going to go ahead and unbox one of these just so you can see what's in it because they're going to be the same in both of these. So we have some different instruction or advertising, papers in the front. We can discard all those. And then I'm going to show you, we have three boxes inside. So very organized, very neat in here. And we're going to pull one of these out. And these should be the lights. And they do have these bundled, and then the bundles are hooked together as well. They already have them pre-connected too, so pretty convenient here. We don't need to do anything with those. They're already ready to go. For our testing, because you want to make sure that you test your lights before you put them up. The last thing you'd want is, a bad set of lights that you installed on your house and then you have to tear them all back down. Would not be a fun experience. They also have the extra stickers as well as the clips for installing the lights to hold them up. Based on my experience, the clips are totally unnecessary if you do a good job cleaning. So I'm going to try to bypass the clips on our install today and let you know if I have any problems with that. But the clips took me the most time on the first install. And what I've seen so far is the lights are still, snug up against each of the lights. So if they were being held by the clips, they'd be hanging down from the clips. So without that being the case, I think I'm just going to continue cleaning really well and putting these up, and we'll see how that goes. And then we have another one of these boxes that have more lights in them. And then we have the power supply box, clearly marked, very well organized. And let's see what's inside here. Should obviously be the power supply, but I don't know if there's anything else. Just a little bit hardware in here too. So we have the power supply with the controller on it. So pretty straightforward. Oh, and we do have one extension cord. So if you have to jump in between places where you don't want to have lights, we do have one of those as well. So I'm going to go ahead and get the other lights out, and I'm actually going to pull the lights out of the other box as well, and then I'll show you what a set looks like lit up in the theater here. All right, I got these strings hooked up for the first set. I'm going to go ahead and plug these in so you can see what they look like. So once I plug them in, you can see immediately it cycled through the different strings, and now it's lighting up in a rainbow effect. So we have nice bright LEDs here with all of the different colors lit up at this point. So I'm going to go ahead and get the other set out and make sure that one's working as well and totally functional. All right, I got the second string hooked up. I'm going to plug these in, and then I'm going to talk to you a little bit about the specs. So I got these plugged in, they light up, and then we're going to have the rainbow effect come across, just like the last set. And it appears everything's working just fine. You can see the end of the set over here. So a couple of the specs for the Govee lights. The lights themselves are IP67, but the control box is actually an IP65. So something to keep in mind that you might want to take a little bit extra caution there. I think the one set I'm going to put the control box within our garage, so that one will be fine. And the other one, I think I'm going to put an outdoor box hidden underneath our deck potentially. So I'm going to look into that once I get to that location and see exactly where I land to start the second set of lights. Because the first one I'm going to start at the corner of our garage and work around the back of our house so that we get a connection right up to the set that's currently there, the 150-foot set that we have. These are both 100-foot sets here. I measured where I thought we were going to land and it put us right around the corner, I believe, that I need to be at for some of the power for the second set. So I think that we're in a really good position. And that's why I bought this level of, this size sets here. With the 100-foot light sets, it is 72 lights. It's 12 per string, and there's 6 sets, six substrings here that connect together. So let's go ahead and head outside and get these hooked up, and I'll show you what the process is like for the install, as well as the review at the end. Here we have the front of the house where I have the 150-foot string that we already purchased. And then right at this corner is where I have the beginning of that string. So I'm going to start this other string there as well. And I have it hidden behind the corner trim piece and down into the garage there at the corner. So I'm going to start here. I'm going to wrap it around the side of the garage here. Move it across the back of the garage down to the side of the house here, and the goal is to make it over to that corner at the deck there, right in this area, so that we can stop there where that camera's at and start the other string from there. And then the other string, the goal is to start there and move back this way and then that way on the deck out across the back of the house here, and then just twist around on the other side to finish that string out wherever that ends, because the other side of the house is the side of the house that we don't see very often, and we don't really care as much what that looks like because it's blocked from the road with some trees and such, and nobody really sees it too much. Here's the beginning of the original string, and then I have it hidden behind the corner here all the way down. I need to do a little better job of getting this tucked back up and started to, fall off there a little bit. Then have it going down and around the corner. And then it goes into the garage where it's plugged in. So I'm going to go ahead and run the new one in that same location. All right, ran the initial side behind that. You can see the bigger piece right there, and it runs all the way down to the ground. And then I'm going to wrap it around into the garage. So I'm going to start with cleaning the surface, and I use some rubbing alcohol here. I'll put it on and then make sure the surface is very clean. Where the light's going to go, that's the biggest issue with the adhesive. I've seen other people that didn't clean it, and therefore it doesn't stick. This is the first one, so it's super important for this one because it could bear a little bit of extra weight. So I'm going to try to avoid using the the clips at all. So let's see if I can get this one out far enough where I need to go to get it out far enough. So it might have to be just a little bit short of where I'd like it. I'll fix it with the next light. Good 30-second press there. And then you want to make sure that you have the wiring flat all the way through. And I can see where this next one's going to go. It's going to go right here. So I'm going to go ahead and clean that location. And then once that's nice and clean, I'm going to pull off the back of the sticker here. I'm going to use my spacer, set this right against it, and press up firmly for 30 seconds. While I'm doing that, start looking out to where the next one's going to be and start cleaning that area off. I got this spot all cleaned, and I'm ready to go to put this next one up. So I'm going to hold up my template, push the plate against it, and press it up firmly for 30 seconds. So now I need to move the ladder, and I'm going to continue on with this process around the side of the garage and around the back of the house. I got all the lights up now, so I'm just going to show you what it looks like everywhere. I have the front ones on just like a perimeter type thing, so just a couple of them are lit up, but I have all the other ones on with, it's a light yellow color that I found that I liked. It represents more of a warm white with the Govees because they don't inherently have that on the regular version. That's only on the Pro version. Here you can see the side of the garage. I used a template, a small piece of cardboard that's, 3 or 4 inches long so I could match the front. And I still had the template from when I installed those last year, so it was really easy just to reuse that and have a great consistent placement of lights around the house. This is across the back of the garage, and then you see the side of the house here. I have it wrapping up across the back of the house. And the first 100 feet actually ended right around this window right here. But what I did was I took one of the strings from the second 100 feet, connected that to the first set, and ran it all the way back into the corner of the deck area, which added a lot of ability to hide the cords at that point. So then the end of the first one is on the right, and then you see the beginning of the second one. I have the second one tucked down behind. I'm gonna move, we have a trash can here, so I'm gonna move that out of the way. And I just drilled a hole down through and ran the wire down through and then connected everything underneath the deck. So you can see, you don't even see that at our house because we have the trash can there. The second string I ran around the rest of the deck. And then for right now, I just have the last couple hanging down because this is 2 stories up in the air and I don't have a ladder that goes that high. And that's by design because I don't really need to be that high in the air. The couple of the spots were already a story and a half, and that was already plenty for me. And I have a buddy that's gonna come over, and he'll be able to hang the rest of those and probably run it across the back part of the house here and then around the corner. And I'll show you what it looks like on the other side of the house. That's where our first set ends from last year, and then our set from this year, the second set, will end around the corner as well. So I expect it's gonna come just around the corner here. And then this is the side of the house that has, you know, air conditioners and power walls and utility type stuff that we don't typically look at or see, so it doesn't really matter how it ends. And then the other one ends just past those windows there from the front of the house. So it won't connect quite to that, but it'll be a good situation where it's all on the side of the house that we don't ever see, that everything sort of ends and disconnects. And this is across the front of the house with the perimeter lights on, just a couple in the corners. Now I have the iPad with the lights connected and everything's updated on the firmware. And the first thing I'm going to display is when you're using everything grouped together. So you can see everything's on. That includes the string lights over here, as well as the Govee Permanent Outdoor Lights. And I can hit the off button, and it takes just a second, but everything does turn off. And I can hit the on button, and it should populate back up. Sometimes it takes a second or a few seconds here. Still thinking. Let's try that one again. There we go. This time everything came on, so one little glitch there, but most of the time it works, and sometimes there's a little delay in there. And if I go into the 5 devices, you can actually pick some different things within these, so you can see which lights you have at the bottom, and you can pick the colors and, you know, multiple color type setups. So if we go into the multiple color, you can do just different things they have set. So we can select this one, and then it'll apply it to all of our lights. And if we want to do another one, we can click on that one and you can see it gets applied to all of the lights there. And then, you know, we don't typically include the string lights directly in. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you just some of the special items that are separate for the string lights and the Govee Permanent Outdoor Lights and how that works. When this video is over, don't forget to check out the light about the string lights. I'll link that up here in your top right corner. I have a video that I made when I was installing those, so different information about those and installing those, what it was like, and a couple of tips and tricks too to make sure they work really well for you. All right, now I'm just going to show you some of the things on this set of lights here. We have this one called Govee Bill's Side. And you can see we have the same kind of functionality with colors and that type of thing. We have the scenes, and the scenes are what takes us to the next level. We can go in and we can look for, let's go to festival. I think those are usually the most fun. And we can just pick, you know, one of the Christmas themes, and you'll see immediately it flips over to that. If you want to look at Valentine's Day, you can see that one, and you get the, pinks and red and those types of colors. Hanukkah, it's a nice one. And then let's see what they have for like St. Patrick's Day. I think that's a good one to get all that green festive color. And can't forget the 4th of July fireworks. So the interesting lights you have there just flashing like fireworks, that type of thing. So lots of options. You can also go into some of the other setups they have, like the emotions. And if you want to be, I don't know, let's say happy, let's look at that one. So that one looks pretty interesting. Or we have active. So that one sort of rainbow nature here. So lots of different options. And there's also ways to pull in from other folks, and then there's AI as well. So if we want to pull up something that somebody else did, you go into the DIY and you can pull in the ones that you had from somebody else. So let's just see what some of these are. I don't recall anymore. I was playing around with them. So this is like a red, white, and blue for July 4th, or some of the other patriotic holidays here in the US. We can go to, I'm not sure what some of these are going to be. So let's try one of these other ones. So that one's relatively tame. Sometimes you get something that's pretty quick. So I'm not sure if we'll have any of those. There's another relatively tame light. So now I'm going to try the AI just to see what that one's like. So if we go into the AI, there's a lighting bot, and let's just try telling it that we're excited. I'm excited. So that one is pretty intense, but it's pretty interesting too. It's a unique lighting that we don't typically use, but I suppose it would work out okay. It's actually perfectly aligned to stop back in the corner there of our house. So it actually looks pretty neat the way it's set up here. I'm going to try a different one. I'm bored, and we'll see what it says for this one and see if it gives us any options. I'm bored. So it took 3 times to get that one to work, but once it did, I was able to apply it, and we can get a nice, interesting light. It's looks like it would be from Frozen or something. Anna and Elsa would be shooting the ice out here or something like that. So not a bad one, but nothing too interesting to cure my boredom either, for that matter. So that's a quick overview of what it's like controlling the lights and some of the options within the app. And we do have all the regular, colors, so I can just pick a color and we can apply these just like any other light, but these aren't quite as interesting, so I'm not going to spend a lot of time on those. Um, oh, one other item I did want to mention was the white, because we had a lot of questions before about the white. Because if you go into the white and just apply the normal white, it does have a cooler light. But if you go in, I like somewhere right in here, and it warms it up just a little bit and makes it appear much better to me for the house. And I don't know if it can capture it quite in the camera, but definitely warms it up and looks much better to me when I'm looking at the house and just trying to get that ambient lighting there of the white glow. And sometimes we'll just light up, corners or that type of thing. But for a generic scene, having the all white definitely looks pretty decent around the property. So just keeping those lights on does give us peace of mind of having things lit up around here. You don't stumble over things if you're out here walking in the dark, that type of thing. So it's a good setup. And it's time for my final thoughts. I bet you can already guess what I'm about to say, but I really love these products. That's the reason we went out and bought more. And my wife loves the products. So, definitely one of our favorite smart home products that you just sort of set and forget. And we can utilize it to save our time over the holidays. And we don't, do a whole lot of other decorations. Put these up once, they're there. We can set them for all the different holidays, and especially during Christmas time when it's colder out, you don't have to climb the ladder, put the lights up, climb the ladder again, take them down, and have to worry about the lights that are going out all the time. We've had these up for a couple weeks now, and just using the 3M strips on the back of the lights, we haven't had any issues, no lights sagging, and it's been, right right at 100 degrees almost, several times throughout this 2-week period. The original set of lights that we put up, the 150-foot length that we had, that's been a full year now through the winter and through the heat of the summer, and no issues, no lights hanging down based on the clips. No issues with any of the lights coming off of the 3M strips on the back of them. So it's been a great product, and lots of settings and lots of DIY stuff you can access as well from other users and create your own if you want. So it's a really good product, and I highly recommend. You can check out the link below in the description, either off Amazon or the Govee website. And thanks for watching today, and don't miss out on these other videos, and make sure you like and subscribe so you don't miss future videos as well. Thanks for watching.